Some say Chinese is one of the most difficult languages in the world, and learning it is almost impossible.
So learning Chinese, the most difficult thing.
非常难.
So I'm sort of tone deaf. I can't really hear them.
I think the cultural mindset is the biggest complication for
The
us.
grammar.
知吃思诗都很难
It's just complicated so much.
Only because you're not learning it in the right way. Why not try Takeaway Chinese, where you can take some Chinese away and experience progress day by day. Takeaway Chinese, we will promise you a difference.
你好，欢迎收听随行汉语 Welcome to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Fei Fei. Joining me today is our Tony Reed. Hello, Tony.
Hey, Fei Fei, what's going on? And hello to all of our listeners out there. Hopefully we all take something away.
And today we're talking about something I think most of us have experienced a little bit about before or right now. So, Tony, have you interned before?
Oh, you mean like work for a company for free?
Well, strictly legally speaking, I don't think we should be free, but most of the time, yeah.
Yeah, no, I haven't wasted my time with anything like that.
But it's a nice note on our resume to have a sort of internship experiences, especially for graduates, college graduates.
Yeah, in retrospect, I kind of wish that I had done a few internships. But yeah, at that time, I was busy making money. So for me, the notion of working somewhere for free was just like, come on.
I've actually were interned a couple of times before in like different companies.
Nice.
And I would say I was a very good intern. At those
You're working for free after all. I mean, come on.
Oh, well
Take it easy on
one
yourself.
company actually paid me a little bit.
What, really?
It's not much, but I think it's enough to cover my commuting expenses every day.
So not much at all.
So not really much. As I was still in college at that time, so I had no idea what I'm supposed to do as an intern.
Wow.
And most of the time, I sat in the office waiting for orders from the team members. So I wasn't really actively contributing to the team.
Oh, wow. Well, that's not your fault.
Yeah, but I guess, as an intern who went there to learn something, maybe I should be more active.
Okay.
Asking people to give me something so I have a better idea of at least this industry is about.
Sure.
For our listeners out there, the words and phrases about internship and other things, about jobs can be something very practical if they want to come to China, study in China, and maybe stay longer finding a job here. And knowing, for example, how to say internship in Chinese is important.
Sure.
And internship in Chinese is 实习.
实习.
Yes, 实习.
实习. Okay.
And first of all, as usual, we have a dialogue about 实习.
实习第一天感觉怎么样？
还不错，这里工作节奏挺快的，我得尽快熟悉工作，提高效率。
别着急，慢慢来。
好的，我觉得自己还有很多需要学习的地方。
同事们都很友善，有不懂的尽管问。
So that's the whole dialogue. We'll break it down sentence by sentence as usual. The first one, 实习第一天感觉怎么样?
So this is, how do you feel on your first day of internship? Yeah? So 实习, I think that's the internship. 第一天, I think this is like D is like a nominal, for example, like second, third, fourth, fifth. These are nominal numbers. So D, so yi means one.
Yeah.
So I guess this is first.
Yes.
Yeah. So Tian is day.
So
and then
第一天, first
so first
day.
day. And then 感觉, I think this is feel, right?
Yeah.
And then 怎么样 is normally like, how was it?
Yeah, exactly. How do you feel about the first day of 实习 internship? And then the answer is 还不错。这里工作节奏挺快的，我得尽快熟悉工作，提高效率。
So this is not bad. The pace is quite fast here. I need to familiarize myself with the job quickly and improve efficiency. Sounds like something you said during the time that you were an intern, huh?
And I definitely didn't familiarize myself with the job.
So not bad is normally 还不错 or just 不错, right? Okay. And then 这里, I think that's here.
Yeah.
Right? 工作 is work. And then 节奏, I think this 节奏is this like quiet or
It's more of pace.
pace? Okay.
工作节奏 the work pace.
Work pace. Okay. So 这里 is here's work pace. 工作节奏挺快的. So 挺 I think is like quite.
Right.
And then 快 is fast.
Exactly.
And then 我 it's I. And then 得 I think this is need or must.
Yeah, it's more of a must.
Okay. And then 尽快 I think this is as soon as possible. So 快, the word 快 is there. So I would assume it has something to do with being fast again, right?
And the 尽 is like as soon as or try my best.
Okay.
And then 快 is of course quickly. Fast.
And then 熟悉,熟悉, I think this is like familiar or understand something or get familiar with something, right?
So 熟悉 can be used as a verb, which is the case here, and also an adjective in other cases. So
Okay.
you can say it's both familiar or get familiar with.
Got it. And then 工作 is of course work. And then 提高效率. 提高 is improve, and then 效率 is efficiency.
Was 效率.
效率.
效率 is efficiency.
Right.
And then 别着急，慢慢来。
So that's don't worry too much. Take your time. So 别 is don't, and then 着急, I believe that's worry, yeah?
Yeah.
And then 慢慢 is like slow. Lai means come, so it's like come slowly or take it easy.
Take it easy.
Yeah.
So the both of the phrases can be used in many cases. For example, when somebody is rushing you, like go quickly, do this fast. You can just respond as, 别着急, don't rush me, don't worry, as a way to, tell that person to slow you down a little bit.
Slow down, get off my back.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. 别着急. Or in a shorter version would be 别急.
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 Okay.
And then 好的，我觉得自己还有很多需要学习的地方。
So that's okay. I feel that there is so much I need to learn, right? So 好的 is normally okay, and then 我觉得 is like I feel or I think. Yeah?
Exactly.
自己 I think that's like myself. And then 还有 like still have. And then 很多 I think that's a lot. 需要 is need. 学习 is either learn or study. And then 的地方, so the 地方 is place, so study place.
But here, 地方 doesn't really refers to a physical place. It's more of a very abstract concept about things or points. So there is a lot I need to learn. English will be there is a lot I need to learn. And in Chinese, you can have the 地方 as a way to refer to all those things, skills, or points that you want to touch upon.
Okay.
And then the last sentence, 同事们都很友善，有不懂的尽管问。
That means people here are all very friendly, so feel free to ask if there's anything you don't understand. So, 同事们, I think 同事 means colleague.
Yes.
And 们 is normally indicates like the plural
Form, yeah.
Plural form, right? And then 都很, so 都 means all,
Yeah.
right? And then 很 is very, and then 友善, this is kindness or kind, right?
Yeah, 友善.
And then 有 also means have, or they have, and then, or if you have. And 不懂, I think don't understand. The 尽管 one is question.
Yes.
And then 尽管, I believe, is that like, I'm not sure exactly what that means.
It's more of a feel free. 尽管 carries the meaning of feel free to do something. And in this sentence is feel free to ask. 尽管问.
So you don't understand this kind of question.
Yeah, it can also have the meaning of don't reserve yourself from doing it.
Okay.
尽管.
Got it.
And that's the whole dialogue. Do you have other questions about it?
No, I don't think so.
So can we give it a try?
Okay. 实习的一天感觉怎么样？
还不错，这里工作节奏挺快的，我得尽快熟悉工作，提高效率。
别着急，慢慢来。
好的，我觉得自己还有很多需要学习的地方。
同事们都很友善，有不懂的尽管问。
You're listening to Takeaway Chinese with myself, Feifei and Tony Reid. Coming up next, let's learn more about internship and other types of jobs. 实习或者其他的工作. Don't go away, so you will take some Chinese away. Welcome back to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Feifei, joined by Tony Reid. And Tony, we're talking about 实习 in this episode, which is intern or internship. Well, in the beginning of the episode, I mentioned about, I've interned a couple of times before. It's not much.
Yeah.
But something is something we can talk about.
Sure.
And I think there are a few words about 实习 that we can firstly talk about. For example, the person who interns or who undertake this internship is called 实习生.
实习生.
The 生 as in, student, 学生.
Oh, okay. Not 实习人.
Yeah, 实习人 would be weird. So 实习生 is the person who interns or the intern. We also, for every intern job, there will be a period for this internship. Because in some schools or colleges, I guess, they have this requirement for you. If you want to get this degree, you have to finish a certain period of internship as part of your course. And that's called 实习期.
实习期.
The 期 as the period.
Okay.
And then to apply to an internship, you need to send out your resume or any other jobs. Every job requires a resume. And that's 简历.
简历. Okay.
And that's very useful. 简历, to sending out 简历. And then you need to go through interviews.
Of course.
Which is 面试.
面试.
It's
Okay.
like 面 is like face to face, and the 试 is like a test. So you're taking this sort of quote unquote test face to face, which is 面试.
面试. Okay.
So these, I think, are a few useful words that we can use when we're talking about intern or internship. But then you said that you haven't really done any internships before, right? You haven't.
No,
实习.
I never got into internships, and I think it's just because my circumstances when I was a student. I had to work to support myself, I had to eat, I had to pay rent, I had to pay for gas, I had to pay for my cell phone, I had to pay a million things I had to pay for. So I was working in the restaurant, I was working in the hospital, I was working places where I needed to be paid. So I never got into internships.
So let's to be clear here, in these states, most of the interns also not paid.
Well, yes. And I think that's why some institutions love hiring, quote unquote, hiring interns, because it's like free labor. So they can come in and they can do the meaningless tasks that no one really wants to do in the office.
You know, that's what exactly I did when I interned.
Exactly. The administrative things that people loathe doing. They're like, oh, have the interns do it.
Yeah.
And so it's like, that's what their jobs were. And most of the times they hated the job too. But it was, like you said, it was a way to, it makes your resume, how do you say resume again?
简历.
简历. It makes your resume 好看.
Yeah.
It makes it look good.
Exactly.
But no one really wants to do it. And it's free labor, so.
Yeah, I remember during my first intern, I worked at a PR company. And I pretty much helped with the translation. Which is, I guess, thinking about it now, is the work that nobody wants to do.
Right.
Or picking up some notebooks for all the other workers there. Or, print something for them.
The assistant of the office.
Yeah, you can say that I learned something there.
The manual laborer of the office.
I learned how to use a printer there. But, also the period of my internship is very short. It's like 2-3 months. It's not really long enough to, I guess, it doesn't make sense to teach me anything useful from their perspective, because that's just gonna waste their time and energy.
How do you say beneficial?
有益的.
有益的. I do think 我觉得休息很什么？有益的. 有益的. Yeah, 因为 well, I think it's useful because I do regret not doing internships, because I remember when I did graduate from university, I didn't have any experience in the field that I wanted to go into. I had work experience, but it wasn't in, for example, when I wanted to do something psychologically based, because I changed my major to psychology. I didn't have psychological experience, so it was hard for me to, get a role that I wanted in that realm. So if I had been doing internships, say throughout uni, and I had built up, say, a year, maybe a year and a half of experience, then it would have helped me to directly go into a job in the area that I wanted to be in. But most of us don't have experience.
Yeah, and also I think intern is a very good opportunity to test the water a little bit. Like when I take up the internship in the PR company, the main purpose of me is really, I wanted to work in the PR industry, but I had no idea what that industry means and what I would be doing in those industries. So I sort of work in that company to see if, is PR really for me? And then I test that water a little bit and then realize, it's not really
Maybe it's not.
So I didn't really apply to any of the PR jobs later on when I graduated and really looking for a job. So 试水, test the water.
How do you say, 试水?
试水. Is the direct translation of test the water. And I think is really, really useful for when people are not really sure of the industry they want to work, or if they can fit into the industry.
Right. So I guess you could say 熟悉很有用的.
实习很有用的.
很有用的. Useful, right?
Yeah, it's useful. But then you mentioned you didn't really had any internships, but during college you had a lot of part-time jobs?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I actually got certified to be a nursing assistant. So I was in the hospital for about 4 years.
As a part-time
nurse. And I also worked in the emergency medical transport. So yeah, I was an ambulance driver for a little while. And then
that's a lot of sophisticated part-time jobs you've taken.
Yeah, you had to get certified to do those. You can't just like
it's not
walk
like being
onto
a
it.
waiter or waitress.
No, I did that too. I did that for 4 years too. I was a server for about 4 years. And that paid probably more than the other two combined because I made tips every day. So, yeah, and the hours were shorter. So it's more, how do you say convenient?
方便.
方便. I should know this. 方便. 方便. Yes, it's that job was very convenient because, you know, you can still study, you can commute, and you only have short hours to work, but you can make a lot of money.
And also it opens up a lot of different perspective of the society to you for part-time jobs, which is 兼职 in Chinese.
兼职.
I've taken a couple, I would say, part-time jobs as well during college. And I did pretty much the very basic part-time jobs, you know, as cashiers, as a salesperson, or then I worked at a bakery, which is, I think, still the best job in my life.
Really?
I love bakery, and, you know, as a benefit, as a worker at a bakery, you can take as much bread you want and you can when the store is closed. I love that part.
Depending on your shunti, your shape, you know, that might be a good thing or a bad thing.
I gained a lot of weight during that year in the bakery as a part-time job. But I had a lot of fun there because I met a lot of people from different backgrounds, from different countries. And it was fun. It's really, really fun. And the pay was okay. It's more than the internship.
But you learned a lot, right?
Yeah, I learned.
How do you say learn a lot? 学习
学到很多
学到很多
Yes. I think I learned more in terms of life experiences when I was working as part-timers than when I was working as an intern. Because as an intern, what I did was within an office. It's very limited.
Right.
Face a computer and typing and, you know, communicating with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And you don't really have much deadlines or responsibilities.
No one would give, you know, really important work to an intern, you know, unless they're really short of staff.
Yeah.
So, but then as a part-timer or as a cashier or someone in a bakery, I face a lot of customers during the day. Some of them are very unreasonable.
Yeah.
And I think it's very useful for me to learn how to deal with unreasonable people.
Yeah, it's a good experience.
Yes.
You're always learning something. I think today we have an expression here, 学无止境.
Yes,
right?
学无止境.
What is that? And that means
learning has no end.
Yeah.
You need to learn throughout your life.
Yes.
Yes.
And that may be uncomfortable. 不方便?
Uncomfortable, 不舒服.
Oh, 不舒服. Uncomfortable, not inconvenient. Actually, maybe that also applies
yes,
too, right?
It's very uncomfortable at the beginning.
Yes.
When you're learning something new.
I think for most people who master something in their field, some of them don't like to learn new things. They want to stay in their comfort zone and be the master of that field, you know, but when they step out of there and they have to learn something new, it brings them right back down to the beginning, and they're not used to, I mean, they've forgotten what that's like, and so it's really uncomfortable. 不舒服.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's essential to step up your comfort zone, which is 舒适区.
舒适区. Oh, 舒适区.
You had to step up of that 舒适区 eventually at a stage of your life, because you can't really constrain yourself to a smaller space each day, and eventually you realize you become so, I guess, lost with reality, and at some point become so like limited on really a few things, and you are not open up to a lot of new things out there, especially now when the world is changing so fast.
Yeah. And when it comes to like physiology, like I think that we have certain neural networks for certain things, and if you continue to do those things, it's like your brain is not exercising. I work out a lot, and there's certain exercises that I normally do, and I look a certain way because of it. But if I want to grow upon that and become stronger, I have to try new things. And so that's the painful process, right? I try a different exercise and those muscles are going to hurt so bad, you know? And I think it's the same with our brain, with learning things. Like, you know, if you try to learn something new, it's really, really hard.
I had the same experience. It's like when I learned some moves during workout, and then slowly I sort of mastered it.
Yeah.
And then I get so
anything.
comfortable with it.
Yeah, you don't feel anything with it. It's just really comfortable and you don't feel sore or nothing.
Yeah,
you can do it every day.
I was like, it's an easy session every day.
Yeah.
And I feel awesome. But then I realized, you know, I'm not getting anything from it.
Right. Yeah, you have to trick your body.
Yeah.
Because your body gets adapted to, I think it's not just our bodies, it's our brains, everything we get adjusted to certain things. And so then you try a different exercise and then it's like, oh my goodness.
It's a killer.
Yeah, it's a killer. So
yeah.
Yeah, learning has no end.
Stepping out of the comfort zone, 走出舒适区。
走出
舒适区。
舒适区。
Yeah, walking out of the comfort zone.
Wow, okay. And how do we just say comfort zone?
舒适区。
舒适区。Okay, can you break that down?
舒适 is the comfort.
Uh-huh.
Zone is 区.
Is 区. It sounds like go.
That's 区. That's the fourth tone. Okay. We need to talk about the struggles you face in learning Chinese someday, Tony.
I think everyone knows. It's the tones.
And that brings us to the end of today's Takeaway Chinese. I'm Fei Fei with Tony Reid here in the studio. For more episodes of the show, you can visit our website at radio.cgtn.com and go to the column podcast. You can listen to the show and read the script there.
Find us wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and much more. Just search for Takeaway Chinese, and don't forget to leave your comments, questions, and ratings.
All right, guys, we'll see you next time.
再见.